The three best chewing gums for your jawline are Jawline gum, Jawline or facial fitness gum, and mastic gum. They're not the best because they're the cheapest. They're not the best because they're the tastiest. They're the best because they work the best. Only one of these three gums is going to be right for you, but all three of them are about 10 to 15 times harder than regular gum, and chewing them consistently is going to build your masseter muscles and tone your entire neck and jawline. I see it all the time for those that chew properly. You might want to consider whether this is something you really want. These studies show that physically attractive men they earn 9 to 25% more money than their more humble looking colleagues. Are you going to be able to handle all the women and men constantly hitting on you, objectifying you like a mouth-watering piece of meat? Fallon gum should also get an honorable mention. The mewing community picked this one up because it's moderately hard, it is effective. It's also easily available on Amazon or your local Turkish bazaar.
But
it contains moderately toxic ingredients like butyl hydroxytoluene, butyl hydroxyanisole, and questionable ingredients like titanium dioxide, which wouldn't necessarily be a problem, but because Fallon gum is not particularly tough, you have to chew hundreds of pieces for at least 5 hours a day, every day, no longer exposing yourself to what could have once been trace amounts, but is now large quantities of chemicals that are suspected of being highly toxic for the liver, kidneys, retina, and that's the back part of your eye. Who cares though? I couldn't get past the taste. Instead of buying my dog food for the week, I bought potentially poisonous chewing gum that tastes like cigarettes.
Yes! Oh my god!
I don't want to sound too negative, they have lots of flavors and maybe I just tried the worst one. It might be an effective weight loss tool though. Somehow I contracted E. coli, cholera, and hepatitis A, B, and C. Here's how to chew these properly so you get results. Actually, start by picking the gum that's right for you. Both Jawline gum and Jawline Fitness gum are mint flavored, harder than anything you've ever chewed, and they're cheaper. They're about half the price of mastic gum. Available on Steel, Jawliner, and Amazon these days. Jawline Fitness gum has even been approved by Mike Mew, which is pretty cool. If you're just getting started, or even if you're really experienced, these gums are way easier on your teeth and gums, and they're uniform, so they're all the same shape and size. It's obvious why that's important. These two brands of gum are very similar. I can't tell them apart, so I recommend both. Start here and perhaps never leave. Everyone should have a pack of these in their car, in their school bag, their gym bag, and near their front door at home. Mastic gum is a little more hardcore. That's not to say that it works better. It's sap picked from a tree on one specific island in Greece. 100% natural. The flavor is kind of cedarish. I love it, but I know that it's not for everyone. The best thing about mastic that is properly amazing is that it never, ever loses its taste. You can literally chew on one piece for 4 hours a day and then put it back in your box and then pick it up the next day and it still has its taste no matter how long you chew it. And the good part about that is that you can chew and you don't have to keep putting in new pieces of gum because the old one's lost its flavor or it starts to feel weird in your mouth and its consistency changes. People, including me, use it for weight loss as well. Something about just chewing on it for hours means that I just don't get hungry, even when I've stopped chewing on it. And here comes the but. Mastic gum's quality is absolute garbage. Not mine, of course. Steel mastic gum in stores now! Most of the other brands and things you find out there are gritty, grainy, small, inconsistent pieces that feel awful in your mouth, taste bad, and they're sticky. Because it's a natural sap picked from a tree, you can't get it consistent each piece. The harder pieces, you can't squish them at all in your hands and they're quite brittle. They're the good pieces, and then when they break down in your mouth, they become powdery for a second before they become this rock hard piece of gum. The other ones, the sticky ones, you can squish them with your fingers and when you put them in your mouth, they feel already more like a normal chewing gum and they're gonna be soft. But if you buy a good mastic gum brand, what they're gonna do is they're gonna filter away much of these stickier, softer pieces. It's really hard to get all of them. So my mastic gum brand has probably about 10% of those soft and sticky pieces. Every other mastic gum I've tried, they have probably about 50% sticky, 50% hard. Do your research. The other thing is, mastic is kind of expensive. So if you're not hardcore like Skinsy, then stick to Jawline gum. Your chewing technique matters. The most important thing to remember, make sure you feel tension and soreness in your jaw muscles, in your masseter muscles. They're the ones you want to grow, right? Everyone's facial musculature and chewing technique is slightly different, so it's important to really find what's right for you. But here's the 3 common mistakes to avoid. Chewing with your mouth open a lot. The wider your mouth is open when you're chewing, the more the temporalis muscles take over from the masseter muscles. Obviously, you don't want to be building them. Those incisor-based base jaw exercisers, those gag ball ones that sit at the front of your mouth, they really put the focus on the temporalis way too much and can result in like a wider head. Chewing on only one side. Do I really have to explain why? You don't want a muscle nugget on only one side of your jaw. You may have to consciously remind yourself to switch which side you're chewing on. Chewing with different types of teeth. So mainly you want to chew with your back molar teeth, the ones back there. That's going to be the best for building the all-round mass of the masseter muscles. Sometimes, maybe like 40%, 20% of how long you chew should be these incisor teeth or these front teeth here, and also these lateral front teeth here as well, because they're going to hit kind of the lower portion of your jaw here, which is probably the most aesthetic and important part, but it is really hard to build them without building general mass by chewing with the back molar teeth. So break it up, give it a bit of variety, hit the different heads. For your actual workouts, I have some specific ones I follow for the jawliners, but for chewing gum, just take 1 to 3 pieces. Any more becomes too big in your mouth. Do the 3 things I just told you and chew for at least 30 minutes a day, maybe 1 hour if you're desperate, and maybe 2 hours if Giga Chad is your goal. And then just chew when you're driving, when you're working, when you're mowing the lawn, studying, when you're feeding the ducks at the lake. More is better here. And remember to take at least 1 day off a week. No chewing. Whether you want a stronger jawline for the girls or just to help you get through grandma's hard-boiled steaks, there's more than one way to crack an egg. So pick whichever gum jiggles your jellies. I use my jawliners once a day to build mass, and then throughout the rest of the day I'm chewing on mastic gum or jawline gum, and that's enough. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do exactly what I tell you in this video. Or don't. Go your own way. Bake your own bread. Churn your own butter. Wax your own buttocks. See if I care. Lately you've been watching my videos and you still haven't subscribed. You use people. You used me.